started recording. Great. Hello, guys. Good evening. And today we have our destination discovery dedicated to United States with our wonderful mentors, Sharat and Palav. Today we will talk about different aspects of application process, career choice, university choice, and some life hacks on adaptation and relocation to another country. So, guys, let's start with some brief introduction. Sharat, can you please start and share a little bit about yourself?
So, my name is Sharat Lanchar, and I completed my master's from Rochester Institute of Technology, Rochester, New York. And then I worked as a manufacturing engineer for 1 year in Texas. And then I came back to India in January 2021.
Great, thank you, Sharat. Palav, can you please briefly tell about yourself?
Hi, so I am a mechanical engineering graduate from the Indian college called Vellore Institute of Technology. And right after finishing my bachelor's degree, I applied for master's in Northeastern University, Boston, where I studied MSc in industrial engineering. And as soon as I completed that, I came back to India and I have started my own company, which deals with manufacturing of EV charging stations.
Great, thank you so much. It's amazing that both of you have a really excellent experience. So guys, can you please share why have you decided to study in the US? So I think that we can continue the audio, Sharat, and then Palav will answer my questions. Sharat, you on mute.
Sorry, thank you. So, yeah. So the thing. So when I was deciding on, the destination of the study abroad, my main focus was universities research in R&D and countries R&D expenditure, so that I can pursue my project. So that's how I came. And there are a lot of Indians in the United States. I had a few friends there, so that was kind of a major factor in deciding that I want to go to US.
Thanks. I also think that R&D is really developed in the US, so it's a great choice. And Palav, what about you? Why your choice fell on the US?
So, I mean, the first part is similar to what Sharat said. I did my research on what the universities were providing as a curriculum. I was not more into research and development, so for me, it was more about what the courses were like and how they would help me come back and establish a company of my own, because I knew from the get-go that I wanted to come back to India and start my own business here. So keeping that in mind, I started seeing the curriculum across countries, and the colleges in US were much more aligned to my final goal. So that's how I decided that, okay, US is, I think, the way to go.
Yeah, I think it's a very informed decision that is closely connected with your goals. And I think it's like a good example of how to choose the country, right? And can you please share how have you chosen the university? So which aspects you were looking for?
So I had I took a look at the course curriculum, and I chatted with a few professors to understand what actually how it can help me in my career. And as I said, they had a good course in manufacturing and mechanical systems. It was a very good combination of manufacturing, mechanical, and management concepts.
Great, thanks, Sharat. And Palav, what about you? How you choose the university?
So during my research of the curriculum across different countries, when I chose USA, I had a consultant help me through the process as well. So according to her, I had to categorize the amount of schools I was applying to. So I selected about 9 schools that I was applying to, and we categorized into three types. I mean, the dream colleges, within reach colleges, and the safe colleges. And out of those 9 colleges that I had seen, those were something that, matched my curriculum and helped me achieve my end goal. All of those, but I think Northeastern was the best out of the lot, which I got admitted, to be very honest. So that was the only college within reach that I got admitted to. The other colleges were the safer colleges. That's why I went to North.
Thank you. I'll see that one more mentor, Max, joined us. So Max, hello and good morning on your side.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. So very happy to see you with us. Thanks that you finally managed to find the time to join us. And can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. So I'm currently an undergraduate student in University of Kansas in the United States. I'm in my 3rd year and I'm studying computer science. And also I'm working in a company here on campus. I'm working as a full stack web developer. So if anybody has any questions related to like getting career in engineering, things like that, I would be very happy to answer questions and give you career advice.
Yeah, thank you so much. I see that today we have really great circle of engineers during our event. Yes, and Max, we're discussing how everyone choose the university where you are studying at. So can you please share your story? How have you chosen the uni?
Yeah, okay. It was kind of a random decision. That's the truth. So I was considering between United States universities and United Kingdom universities. I was going back and forth, and like the time was flying by, and then I noticed that like it's time to like submit the paper soon, and like the deadline is approaching. And I got accepted into some universities in United Kingdom, but I didn't like it because the weather is bad. And it also like United Kingdom feels like more restrictive in terms of labor laws. So for those reasons, I was looking into United States, but by the time I came to the decision, like almost all universities just closed the admission. So I just followed Kansas University because that's like, it was open at the time. It was a random decision, like I said, but I do not regret it. Like I enjoy this university a lot.
So I think it's some kind of gut feeling that helps you to choose the uni or any other power from outside, right?
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm just lucky.
Yeah. So I have another question for you guys. So can you please share what was the most challenging thing for you during the application process? So I also will offer this kind of lane like Sharat, Palaf, and then Max. So you can answer question in this way. Yeah. So the most challenging thing for you during the application process. Sharat, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. So yeah, so writing the motivation letter, I would say, is like a challenging thing. As a non-native English speaker, it was difficult to find the right words to express the emotions and what we're trying to convey to the admissions officer. And then there's taking the exams as well, I would say.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe you have any tips for writing the motivational letter based on your experience?
Well, what we can do is start a little, a little early and not wait for the last moment, because motivation letter takes quite some time to draft the final draft.
Yeah, thanks. I hope it will be a really popular topic among our students this time. And Palav, what about you? What was the main challenge during the application?
I think I'll agree with him. I'll agree with Sharad on this because, yeah, motivational letter was the most difficult part. It took me about a month and a half to get to my final draft. So, I mean, I completely agree when Sharad says, give it time. It's not going to happen overnight. So, I mean, that is the first thing that you would need to focus on once you finish your exams.
Yeah, thanks. I think so the hardest thing is to come up with all your experience and understand how to organize it in some kind of letter for the admission committee. So, right. And Max, what about you? The main challenge during the application process?
Yeah, for me, it was like collecting all the documents and making sure to localize all of them, like go to the translation bureau and get everything certified, and then collect the paperwork and go to get a bank statement. So it was like a lot of hassle with all the documents, and you're like constantly worried that you might not get something done in time, or you might make a mistake and have to redo it again. I would say that was like the main challenge for me.
Yeah, I know that admission abroad requires a lot of red tape, so it's really a nightmare to collect all the documents and make sure that they are made according to all rules and guidelines of the admission committee. Right. Thanks, guys, for some challenges, but let's get back to some positive side of your education abroad experience. And can you please share the most memorable thing about your education experience? What was the most valuable that you learned during your study abroad experience?
Well, I really like the freedom to research and be able to, communicate with the professors and other staff, you know,
Mm-hmm.
convey what we
Yes.
are studying, and there are like lots of resources that universities provide to international students.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to have some kind of freedom and support from professors and some practitioners on conducting research and doing some profound research. So it's also a great chance to dive into this sphere. Yeah, and Palav, what about you? What is the most valuable thing?
I think the 6-month experience that I had on my co-op was the most valuable thing that I got from my study abroad program, because uh, gaining a corporate experience, a work experience in another country is just massive. You see how things work in a different country when it comes to jobs, the expectations out of employees, and everything. So I think that was the most valuable experience for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for sharing. I think it's really great to see how something is based in another country, which process they have, how it works, and learn from this experience. So it really helps you to grow as a leader and as a professional. Right. And Max, what about you? As you're still studying, I think you are about to see more valuable things, but maybe anything that is really valuable for you now.
Right. So when I applied, I thought education and classes would be the most valuable part, but everything that happens outside of class was even better, like the networking and the ability to learn from like people who have real world experience and who have connections. And like, if you are interested, you're gonna show your interest to them, and they're gonna like connect you to some useful people. And also like the work experience, like it was said, like you can definitely get work experience on campus. Like you don't have to wait till graduation to start working real experience, getting experience. Like the sooner you start, it's like the better it is for you later.
Yeah, great. I also think that networking and different opportunities that universities offer, it's a perfect match. It can help you to integrate in the new surroundings, and what's more, gain some valuable skills that can be really relevant to professional development in the future as well. Right. And if Max talked more about some career opportunities, let's move to this topic as well. So please share, have you worked during your education process? And also you can share how have you managed to find some internship experience or career experience?
So I did not work co-op or internship because I had a research-based degree. But after that, I worked as a manufacturing engineer in a contract manufacturing firm. So it was via LinkedIn. So
Yeah.
I had been networking for a while, and one of the president of the company, invited me over for an interview.
Yeah, great. So I think that networking is super useful as it
Yeah.
helps you to build connections and also find some career opportunities. So for every student who is with us, network is the key to find really good career experience abroad. And Palav, what about you?
Me, I found a co-op during my first year. So like our university, the biggest advantage of Northeastern was that they have a very extensive co-op program where they help students, get their internships. They have around 70 to 100 companies come in every year to place students for every semester. So that was a bonus. I got a co-op there, and I actually had converted my co-op into a permanent job. I had gotten an offer letter, but because I had plans to come back to India to start my own company, I had to unfortunately reject that.
Nevertheless, I think that even though we have some career fairs at the university, it's great because you have an idea in mind that you will come back to India and you will set up your own business. So I think it's the most valuable that you have gained knowledge that you managed to translate into your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, Max. And what about you? How have you found this career opportunity? What you are doing now? How many working hours you have, and so on?
So I had some work experience even before coming to KU, to this university. So when I came here, finally, I was like, I went to the job board and filtered the highest paying job position in my area of study. And I interviewed for a few positions. I liked one company very much, and seeing my experience, they liked me back. And that's why I've been working for like the last 2 years. And it was like very valuable for me and for them both. I feel like I learned much more from my work than from classes so far. But I also took, in parallel to that, a volunteering position in the research lab. We were working with human-machine interfaces, which sounds like science fiction, but it's just a lot of data science, which I didn't know at the time, but still it was a useful experience. And as far as internships, I have an interview with Amazon today about a summer internship. So I'm super excited about that.
Oh, great. Will it be some online or offline interview?
It would be a hybrid internship. And I think they will ask me to move to Seattle.
Oh, it's amazing. So fingers crossed that everything will go smoothly.
Good luck, Matt.
Yeah, good luck. It's really great. And Palaf left us, but no worries. Let's continue. By the way, guys, if you have any questions to our wonderful mentors, please, you can raise your hands on the Zoom, or you can also write a question in the chat. So make sure we will definitely ask a question that you have in mind. And the one thing that I really missed, it's the scholarship. So can you please share whether you study with a scholarship and was it hard to receive the scholarship?
So I received a university merit-based scholarship. It was 30%. And so I technically did not apply for the scholarship separately. It was with my university application. I was eligible.
And how do you think, what allowed you to stand out from your peers and receive the scholarship?
So most universities have this program where the department has a merit-based scholarship for candidates with good credentials. And also early application also works in your favor, to be honest. If you are earlier than most applicants, then you can take the advantage of early application and get the scholarship.
Great, thanks for sharing, Sharad. And Max, what about you? Do you study with a scholarship or no?
So I got a $9,000 renewable scholarship when I applied to KU. So renewable means it's something I receive every year as soon as I maintain a GPA. But also I applied separately for a $3,000 scholarship and $2,500 scholarship, which I received. I think I would have received more scholarships if I had continued to apply, but then I just decided to like work instead because then I can return something back in turn for that money.
Yeah, and how do you think, what helped you to stand out from your peers and receive the scholarship?
I saw the diplomas from my past competitions, diplomas that were relevant to my field of study. I think the one I had was from a competition, countrywide competition in development, where I got first place. And like I was careful to show that everywhere that diploma, but also talk a little bit about projects I did in the past before even joining the university. And I think all of that like helped me a lot.
Yeah, so perfect mix of your achievements and projects allowed you to receive the scholarship. So I think it shows really the value of some extracurricular activities that both scientific and maybe voluntary, so that can distinguish you from other peers. Right. And let's move to some exciting part of the university, some campus life. So can you please share how was the campus life? Any students organization, volunteer experience, or anything that can also brighten the life at the uni?
Excuse me. So at RIT, RIT is a has a vibrant social life, on campus. There are like sports and events and concerts every now and then, especially in fall. And in winter, they have ice hockey. We have our own ice hockey teams, both male and female, and they are both amazing. And then there are like different, cultural festivals as well. So you can also join some clubs. I was part of RIT football club, which is RIT soccer club in United States, and RIT vegan club as well.
Yeah, I see that the campus life is really diverse, and everyone can find someone to his interests. Yeah. Max, what about your university and any campus life?
Right. So I started my university before COVID lockdown. So experiments might differ a little bit today. But generally, in my first semester, I understood that I had generally more free time that I would have in my senior year. So I tried to enjoy all the opportunities I had to be available. Like I signed up for a bunch of classes, tried to attend all the events that were interesting, and even some events that were not interesting, just for the sake of experience. And I didn't stick with all of them, but the ones I liked the most were the dancing class, which I still attend every week. And also we have swimming pool. We had a cybersecurity club, and we collected as a team to defend our university and our state against other states. And best of all was a startup school. It's like a 6-week program, after school class where you can just learn about how to create a startup, how to manage it, how to get funding. So it's all very useful stuff.
Oh, wow. So I see that there are a lot of opportunities where students can realize their potential. So it's really great. So guys, maybe you have any questions, guys, because I don't see them in the chat. So don't be shy and ask your questions, as I think it's a really great opportunity to learn from those who have already managed to go through this path. However, I have still several questions for you. And can you please share whether you managed to travel around US during your university years? Sharad, please go first.
I couldn't travel much far. I stayed on the East Coast, but I have been to Massachusetts, Boston, and the surrounding area, and New York City. And there's a place called Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. So yeah, there, and a lot of Finger Lakes region in New York State, and some of Pennsylvania as well.
Yeah, and which city have you loved the most?
Well, New York City, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I also like New York very much. Yeah, hope one day the borders will be opened and I will manage to travel one day. Yeah, so fingers crossed. Yeah, and Max, what about you? Have you traveled during your university years?
Not much really. I was just busy with my work and schoolwork. I guess I will travel somewhere for my internship this summer. Meanwhile, I was just taking. The university offered a lot of trips around Kansas and surrounding areas. So like seeing the countryside and the Kansas City and the greater area. So I was taking advantage of all of those trips. Like the one trip I liked the most was going to Kansas City on a New Year's Eve to get do some ice skating. And at the time, most of my friends were from India, and it turned out they didn't practice ice skating that much there. Whereas I had like lots of experience. I was like running around them, making fancy tricks in ice. So it was really fun for me.
Yeah, I think it's also great to learn more about some close destinations. So it's also a great way to spend your time and learn more. I see that Naveen, you raised your hand. Maybe you'd like to ask a question.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Darren. Good evening from my side.
Hello. So
Am
you
I
can ask
audible?
a question.
Yeah. Hi, ma'am. Hi, Sharad. So, I completed my graduation from India itself. So, recently, just yesterday, I have enrolled myself with StudyFree. So
Mhm.
I got this link. So I would like to ask, does Max is studying through StudyFree? Max, are you studying through StudyFree?
No, no, I applied through a different company.
Okay.
They handle the documents and the process.
Yeah, Max and Sharat, they are our study free mentors. So people who have some
Okay.
international experience, yes. So they are not study free students.
Oh,
They are our mentors with some international experience who share their stories. Yeah.
yeah. And what is the procedure for application? Because my mentor, like she said, she'll be contacting me tomorrow. She'll be contacting me tomorrow. So
Tomorrow,
I'll be
tomorrow
just
it will
getting
be
the
yeah, tomorrow it will be your manager who will help you to go through the whole application process. Yeah. So today it's just a community event. So you're a
community
part of
event.
community.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. It's just a community
Okay.
of, and we are holding different events there. Yeah. And tomorrow I think you're planning to have a call with your manager who will help you to go through the application process, if I got you right.
Okay. So I would like to ask what I heard something about racism. So does it exist in US?
Well,
Max or
yeah, it does.
Sharad?
It does. Uh, it does, like almost in every part of the world. But not everyone is racist, and not we cannot say that United States is racist. There are some people you can find, uh, a few people who are not well educated about the different cultures and religions, and you know so it is not something to worry about. It is just for our awareness, that if we know a little bit, and most of the students never have any encounter,
Okay.
and it's it's nothing to worry about, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if I can add,
Mhm. Yeah, yes,
I would say
Thank
Marcelo.
you.
it varies a lot state by state, and especially city from city. So generally, it's more of a problem in rural areas,
Yeah,
whereas in student city, it's not that much of an issue.
yeah, in
Yeah.
countryside people are not aware of other, you know uh, other people, international students, to be honest. And when you are studying at a university, you usually have a community where everyone is aware of university, its culture, and international students. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for answering this important
Yeah,
question. And
thank you.
we have one more question from our students. So, how to cope with homesickness? So, a lot of people are going through it. So, maybe any piece of advice?
So it happens because you have left your country, and there is a different culture, different country, different type of system altogether. So it happens. So what I did was, like, I consulted my graduate advisor, and I was having problem with education system, to be honest, because it was a whole different thing, and in India we don't get to choose things, right? It is not that flexible. So yeah, you can find resources at the university to help you with that, and yeah, you will definitely find some friends who, it's just initial few months, 1 or 2 months, and once you get used to everything there, and it's fine, and you will definitely make great friends there, because I really miss my circle.
Yeah, thank you, Sharad. And Max, any advice on how to cope with homesickness?
I might be not the ideal person to answer that since I did not experience any homesickness, but maybe I just coped with it very well. So the steps I went through was like having a regular time where I call my parents, and that it is kind of counterintuitive, but my connection to my parents was more meaningful and deeper once I traveled abroad, because then we started to like dedicate time to speaking together instead of just having small chat all throughout the day. And also, yeah, finding friends is important, super important. They may be from the same major or just somebody you share common interests with. Like you can get support from them, you can support them, and it's just valuable experience for fighting with some homesickness or anything else.
Yeah, thanks for a really good piece of advice. I can also add that homesickness, it's just a usual feeling that students can cope during the first month. So just try to be in touch with your parents, your dearest and nearest, and also your new friends will also help you to cope with this experience. And maybe you cannot even see how the homesickness will go through. Yeah. And one more question from Biswajit. So my age is 24, and I was wondering, it's not a bad idea to apply for a bachelor's program and to think about upgrading myself. So to be honest, I will share my experience and then we'll go. I think every mentor can share the experience. 24, it's a really good age for getting an education, and I don't think there are some really limitations. So just to make sure that programs you apply for don't have these age limitations. However, I haven't found any programs with such limitations, right? Sharat, any from your side?
Yeah, I mean, there is no such most of the university don't consider age limit, to be honest. And there are, and you can always find a university that suits you the best, that caters to all your needs, no age limit, low. And you probably might need to take SAT or ACT. So, yeah, so age limit, I don't think is a problem.
Yeah. Max, any thoughts on your side?
Yeah, so I had the opposite problem. I felt I was too young to apply. Like at the time when I started classes, I was 16, but doesn't seem like anybody cared about that. Like assuming I was able to pass my exams and show that I'm responsible and nobody else looked at my age. And if it's somebody who's older and applying, I think they can even receive special scholarships that are reserved just for older people. So I don't think there are any problems with that.
Yeah, thank you guys for your opinion. I hope it will motivate and inspire Biswajit even more to apply for the particular uni. Right, and last question from my side, and we can go to other questions from students. So, what advice can you give to students who only start their application process?
Well, as I said, you can start as early as possible to get an advantage over other students, and prepare in a much better way. You can take as much as you want to write your motivation letter. You can, if there is a scholarship that you want to apply to, you can write that might have a certain requirements. So starting early is something that I would suggest that everyone should think about. Maybe you are going to fall 2023, let's assume, or spring 2023, then you should start right away. So that will give you a lot of time to, think about, or maybe you want to change something. Maybe you want to change major or something if you are going for masters. There are like lots of things. So that will give you ample time to proceed with the process.
Yeah, thank you so much for a good advice. Max, what about you? Which advice you can give?
Yeah, I would echo similar advice that starting early is probably the best thing you can do. And even if you fail an exam, you have like ample time to do it again. But I also have some advice if English is not your native language. So the better you learn the language before you come to university, the easier it is for you to adapt and excel in your classes. And one way you could do it is to like research the terms used in your field. Maybe they're not familiar with you, or maybe you just need some brush up on those terms. But it's certainly going to make it easier for you to understand what the professor is speaking about in class. And also do some research on the country you're going to, the culture in that country, and the university, because it's like better to see if you're a good fit for that place before you actually go there. So like the more you're able to research online beforehand, the better it is, I think.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's really very inspiring and motivating words from you guys. So maybe we have any questions from our students. Guys, maybe any questions? Maybe last minute questions to learn more about education in the US. Oh no. So yeah, let's wait for a couple of minutes if we have any questions. If you don't have any questions, guys, please send plus, so we will make sure that you're okay and you really enjoyed our session with our wonderful mentors. Yeah, thanks. So, okay, last, really very last question from my side. Which was the main insight during your education?
An insight that we received.
Yeah.
Well, I think if I don't have any insight to share, but maybe if I knew about certain things, if I had someone to guide me through the process, and when I was there before I was before I went there, that would have been really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also important to have someone who can support you during this process and guide. Yeah. And Max, what about you? Any insights?
Yeah, one thing I learned the most of how, well, not the most, but one thing I learned is that you're not the smartest person in the room. There are lots of smart and unique and wonderful people around, and you can always find somebody better in the area. So if you think you're the smartest, go ahead and find somebody who is smarter and learn from them. Which it is an opinion. If you're like coming from a small high school, like it's not that hard to be the best in that high school. But once you come to like a university where it's like a huge community of like-minded people, like it's much easier to find somebody to learn from.
Yeah, great advice. And I think it's very important not to be jealous of their knowledge, maybe of their level, but just to learn from them and strive for the best together. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining our session. Thanks for finding some time. It was really a great pleasure talking to you, and hope it was very useful for students who joined it. We will also share the recording in our community channel, so more people will be able to join this. And have a wonderful day, evening, and see you during our other events. Bye.
Bye.